Hello, and welcome to your class on Christmas celebrations around the world. Please come in, sit down, get yourself comfortable. As you can see, there are refreshments to your right. We have a wide variety of beverages, including such holiday favorites as eggnog and warm hot chocolate, and such holiday treats as gingerbread cookies, gingerbread houses, fruitcake, mashed potatoes, turkey, and all the delicious things that you can find during the holidays. These are available to you to eat at any time you like and drink as well. If there's something there there's something that you would like to have but it's not available, please just let one of us know discreetly and we will be happy to get it for you. You'll recognize us by our red shirts. Okay? Alright. So this will just be a brief class, and it will be an overview of how Christmas is celebrated in some other parts of the world. You can use this information if you meet someone from or who finds their origins in a place other than that which you're familiar. And you can also determine, if you are from one of these places, how others might view your holiday customs, because not all of these descriptions have been written by people from those places. They are often written in an outsider's perspective. So you can see how accurately other people perceive your traditions. But this is not just a learning experience. This is meant to be a relaxing time. There's no tests, there's no worries. It's just a chance for you to maybe learn something, chat about some stuff, and just have a relaxing time. So the first place in the world we're going to talk about is Christmas in Africa. Preparation for Christmas in the Congo begins when some group is designated to prepare the annual Christmas pageant. Christmas Day begins with groups of carolers walking to and fro through the village, along the roadway, by the houses of the missionaries, singing the lovely carols known the world around. Often people may be awakened by a group of carolers beginning to converge on the house of worship. They return home to make final preparation as to the clothes one must wear, and also as to his offering for the Christmas service. The most important part of their Christmas worship service is the love offering. This is the gift in honor of Jesus. Then, at about 8 or 9 o'clock, everyone makes their way to the celebration of the birthday of Jesus. Everyone who attends the service goes forward to lay down their gift upon the raised platform near the communion table. Not one person will attend the service without giving a gift. Now people have Christmas dinners after the service, preparing tables out in front of their home and inviting many of their intimate friends to share. Christmas in South Africa is a summer holiday. In December, the southern summer brings glorious days of sunshine that carry an irresistible invitation to the beaches, the rivers, and the shaded mountain slopes. Then the South African holiday season reaches its height. Schools are closed and camping is the order of the day. In South Africa, there is no snow, but it has many flowers. Many beautiful varieties of cultivated and wild flowers bring in their full pride. In the cities and towns, carolers make their rounds on Christmas Eve. Church services are held on Christmas morning. Christmas Eve celebrations in larger centers include carols by candlelight and special screen and floor shows. Homes are decorated with pine branches and all have the decorated Christmas fir in a corner, with presents for the children around. At bedtime on Christmas Eve, children may also hang up their stockings for presents from Father Christmas. Many South Africans have a Christmas dinner in the open-air lunch. For many more, it is the traditional dinner of either turkey, roast beef, mince pies, or suckling pig, yellow rice with raisins, vegetables, and plum pudding, crackers, paper hats, and all. In the afternoon, families go out into the country, and usually there are games or bathing in the warm sunshine, and then home in the cool of the evening. Boxing Day is also a proclaimed public holiday, usually spent in the open air. It falls on December 26th and is a day of real relaxation. In Ghana, on Africa's west coast, most churches herald the coming of Christmas by decorating the church and homes, beginning with the first week in Advent, 4 weeks before Christmas. This season happens to coincide with the cocoa harvest, so it is a time of wealth. Everyone returns home from wherever they might be, such as farms or mines. On the eve of Christmas, children march up and down the streets singing Christmas carols and shouting, "Christ is coming, Christ is coming, He is near," in their language. In the evening, people flock to churches which have been decorated with Christmas evergreens or palm trees masked with candles. Hymns are sung and nativity plays are presented. On Christmas Day, children and older people, representing the angels in the fields outside Bethlehem, go from house to house singing. Another church service is held where they dress in their native attire or Western costumes. Later on, there is a feast of rice and yam paste called fufu, with stew or okra soup, porridge, and meats. Families eat together or with close neighbors, and presents are given. On the west coast of Africa, in Liberia, most homes have an oil palm for a Christmas tree, which is decorated with bells. On Christmas morning, people are woken up by carols. Presents such as cotton cloth, soap, sweets, pencils, and books are exchanged. Also in the morning, a church service is held in which the Christmas scene is enacted and hymns and carols are sung. Dinner is eaten outdoors, with everyone sitting in a circle to share the meal of rice, beef, and biscuits. Games are played in the afternoon, and at night, fireworks light up the sky. Is anyone here from Africa, or have any friends in Africa? Okay, how accurate was it then? Okay, cool. Alright, well, the next place we're going to look at is Christmas in America. Santa Claus was born in the US in the 1860s. He was named this as he had a white beard and a belly, so he was named Santa Claus, as this was the Dutch word for Saint Nicholas, Sinterklaas. Although the Dutch had brought him with them in the 17th century, he did not become an important person at Christmas until the novelist Washington Irving put him in a novel that he wrote in 1809. The first Santa Claus was still known as Saint Nicholas. He did smoke a pipe and fly around in a wagon without any reindeer, but he did not have his red suit or live at the North Pole. He did, however, bring presents to children every year. In 1863, he was given the name Santa Claus and bore the red suit, pipe, and his reindeer and sleigh. Christmas celebrations vary greatly between regions of the United States because of the variety of nationalities which have settled in it. In Pennsylvania, the Moravians build a landscape called a putz under the Christmas tree, while in the same state the Germans are given gifts by Belsnickel, who taps them with his switch if they have misbehaved. Early European settlers brought many traditions to the United States. Many settled in the early days in the South. These settlers would send Christmas greetings to their distant neighbors by shooting firearms and letting off fireworks. In Hawaii, this practice is still in use, as under the sunny skies, Santa Claus arrives by boat and Christmas dinner is eaten outdoors. In Alaska, a star on a pole is taken from door to door, followed by Herod's men who try to capture the star. Colonial doorways are often decorated with pineapple, a symbol of hospitality. Also in Alaska, boys and girls with lanterns on poles carry a large figure of a star. When they sing carols, they're invited in for supper. In Washington, D.C., a huge, spectacular tree is lit ceremoniously when the president presses a button and turns on the tree's lights. In Boston, carol-singing festivities are famous. The singers are accompanied by handbells. In New Orleans, a huge ox is paraded around the streets decorated with holly and with ribbons tied to its horns. In Arizona, the Mexican ritual called Las Posadas is kept up. This is a ritual procession and play representing the search of Mary and Joseph for a room at the inn. Families play the parts and visit each other's houses, enacting and reenacting the drama, and at the same time, having a look at each family's crib. In Hawaii, Christmas starts with the coming of the Christmas tree ship, which is a ship bringing a great load of Christmas fare. Santa Claus also arrives by boat. In California, Santa Claus sweeps in on a surfboard. In America, the traditional Christmas dinner is roast turkey with vegetables and sauces. For dessert, it is rich, fruity Christmas pudding with brandy sauce. Mince pies, mince pies are pastry cases filled with a mixture of chopped dried fruit. The majority of Americans celebrate Christmas with the exchange of gifts and greetings and with family visits. For many, the day begins on Christmas Eve with the midnight mass. At Christmas it snows in many states, so dinner is usually eaten indoors. Dinner usually is roast turkey, goose, duck, or ham served with cranberry sauce, then plum pudding or pumpkin pie, followed by nuts and fruit. American homes are decorated with holly, mistletoe, and branches of trees. Most have a Christmas tree hung with electric lights, tinsel, baubles, and strings of popcorn and candy canes. In Colorado, an enormous star is placed on the mountain. It can be seen for many kilometers around, or as they would say in America, miles, while in Bethlehem, Pennsylvania, a star is lit in early December. Polish Americans on Christmas Eve spread hay on their kitchen floor and under the tablecloth to remind them of a stable and a manger. When they make up the table for dinner, 2 extra places are set up for Mary and the Christ child in case they should knock at the door to ask for shelter. In Philadelphia, a procession called a Mummers Parade runs for a whole day with bands, dancers, and people in fancy dress. There are 2 homes for Santa Claus in the United States. One is in Torrington, Connecticut, where Santa and his helpers give out presents. The other home is in Willington, New York, where a village for Santa and his reindeer is located. How about that one? Any Americans here today? So how accurate was it? Yeah, there are some parts that are more accurate than others. I find that a lot of these older traditions are dying out, at least here in Canada, but I don't know about the States. Maybe they've preserved more ethnic Christmas traditions than we have. Cool. The next one we're going to look at is Christmas in the Holy Land. Christmas in the Holy Land, where Christ is believed to have been born, is often full of travelers come to celebrate Christmas. Here in a grotto, there is a 14-pointed silver star on the floor, which is where the birthplace is supposed to have been. There are 3 Christmas Eves in the Holy Land. One on the 24th of December, celebrated by the Protestant and Catholic churches. The second for the Greek Orthodox, Coptic, Egyptian, and Syrian churches. And the third is the Armenian Church. At times, all 3 services are going on simultaneously, but in different parts of the church, as well as in different languages. For lunch, they eat turkey spiced with pepper, cinnamon, and nutmeg, and stuffed with rice, meat, pine nuts, and almonds. Early in the evening, members of the Protestant church groups would go around singing carols. On Christmas morning, children would open their presents before breakfast. After breakfast, Protestant people would go to church and visit friends to wish them a happy Christmas. The Catholic church priests would come with holy water to bless. They would come with blessed water from which all members of the family would take a sip. The members of the Greek Orthodox Church. 2 members of the Greek Orthodox Church. Epiphany is very important. They have a special church service at which a cross was dipped into water to bless it. People would take the water home with them and drink 3 sips before eating anything. So how about that? Anyone celebrate Christmas in the Holy Land before? Yeah? How was it? Very cool. And I know this is specifically on Christmas traditions, but in a lot of these places, Hanukkah and Kwanzaa and other holidays are also celebrated around this time. So maybe next year we'll be able to have a lesson on those. We'll see what happens. But for now, we're going to talk about Christmas in South America. Native Bolivians celebrate Christmas more as a harvest festival. Thanks are given for completion of the year's work. They give an account of the work done during the year and propose what is to be done the next year. Christmas tends to become a feast of adoration of the goddess Mother Earth, who is asked to bring a fruitful harvest, to keep away plagues, and to give a prosperous year. In Brazil, Santa Claus is little known, and those who do know of the jolly fellow call him Papa Noel. The children have no Christmas trees, but they do have a creche or presepio, representing the Christ child's birth. Gifts and toys are exchanged during the holidays, after which the presepio is put away until the following Christmas. In Ecuador, the children write letters to the Christ child and place shoes in the window in which he may place toys as he passes by on Christmas Eve. Noise-making toys are common and are used with much energy on the streets on Christmas morning. Since the weather is very warm, most celebrations are in the streets. There are firecrackers, brass bands, and dancing. Midnight, everyone goes to Mass, after which the family dinner is enjoyed. So to the South Americans or people with South American friends, does that sound about right? It always amazes me that it sounds like such a boisterous celebration, or it seems very jubilant. So that's pretty cool, I think. Now, there wasn't specifically one description written for Asia, so we're going to look at 3 different countries or 3 different places in Asia. And then I'll ask you guys, what do you think after I've gone through all 3 of them? Sound good? Awesome. So we'll start out with Christmas in Hong Kong. In Hong Kong, Christians in most denominations celebrate Christmas with hundreds of church services in Chinese, probably Cantonese specifically. There are also services held in English for the Europeans. They send Christmas cards, too. Many of these cards are exquisitely decorated to show the artistic side of the people who might be gifted. These cards consist of the Holy Family in a Chinese setting. Poinsettias and nativity scenes decorate homes, churches, and other public places, and ideographs show the Chinese alphabet on streamers and paper chains. Santa Claus is also known as Lang Kung or Dunche Lao Ren, with his reindeer, and they are a surprising addition to the Far Eastern scene. In Japan, now, only 1% of Japanese people believe in Christ. Even so, most Japanese people decorate their stores and homes with evergreens during Christmas. They enjoy giving each other gifts, and this is the part they celebrate. They have a Buddhist monk called Hote Osho, who acts like Santa Claus. He brings presents to each house and leaves them for the children. Some think he has eyes in the back of his head, so children try to behave like he is nearby. Among the Christian Japanese, Christmas is not a day for the family. They do not have turkey or plum pudding. Rather than that, the day is spent doing nice things for others, especially those who are sick in hospitals. Christmas for those in Sunday schools is the happiest day of the year. On Christmas Eve or Christmas night, the children put on programs that last for hours. They sing, they recite, and they put on a drama of the day Jesus was born in Bethlehem. Most children may not like Hoteosho, so they may receive their presents from Santa, who goes around with a red-nosed reindeer. And finally, a little tiny bit on Christmas in India. Christians in India decorate banana or mango trees. They also light small oil-burning lamps as Christmas decorations and fill their churches with red flowers. They give presents to family members and bakshish, or charity, to the poor people. In India, the poinsettia is in flower, and so the churches are decorated with this brilliant bloom for the Christmas midnight mass. In South India, Christians put small clay lamps on the rooftops and walls of their houses at Christmas, just as the Hindus do during their festival called Diwali. So that is Christmas in 3 parts of Asia. So anyone from those countries here tonight? And how accurate were the descriptions? Okay. How about other people in Asia? What other countries do we have represented here tonight? And from any other place in the world, not just Asia, but any other countries? Are there some countries that I know there are some countries that we didn't talk about, but is there anything specific you guys can think of that you want to share? Those are some really cool traditions. That's really neat. I know in Canada, Christmas is celebrated very similarly to the description of the United States, only there's less public presentations that happen. It's much more just strictly individual families, and I guess church families too get together and do stuff. But no, that's really neat. Thank you guys all for coming. Feel free to sit around, chat, relax, fall asleep, whatever you like. We've got the room until tomorrow. I'm gonna go head back home for now, but thank you guys again for attending this brief little class/discussion on Christmas around the world, and I wish you all the best this holiday season. Farewell for now.